we go. That should do it. Let's see here. There it is. Good. Fantastic. Alright. Just gonna keep the chat here. Just gonna keep the chat here. Yoink. Yoink. Let's go. Let me just pop that out. Bonk. Not sure if anybody will be here, of course, but that doesn't matter. I'll be mostly focusing on getting a sketch done. The thing is, I'm not even sure if streaming will ever actually be a successful thing. I will just assume that I'll be probably doing this for fun for forever. I don't think streaming will be anything like special anyway. I feel it's more fun to just interact with people instead of like focus on getting the views and things like that. And hell, even if I'm just talking to myself, once there's just a public record of said stream, people can just listen to whatever I'm thinking about, whatever I'm doing. Streams are not, in a sense, too extremely beneficial, but they still somewhat are able to keep somebody's career, of course, alive, as well as increase interaction. Speaking of that cough, I'm still somewhat sick. It, thank God, isn't Rona again. I should probably turn that situation maybe someday into like some sort of story time thing, even though I am not a story time YouTuber. I still feel it could be maybe fun to talk about. He was the eraser, right? No. Change those buttons. Alright. To the corner you go, pumpkin. I hope everyone's evenings will just go well while I'm just test streaming. Once it's over, I'll test yet again if the latency will actually be better this time, because last time I set it on high thinking that maybe a router is going to be able to withstand, of course, like the troubles that are, after all, streaming. I mean, what internet provider is going to be ready for that unless you like specifically tell them, hey, I'm like some big old freaking streamer, I need lots of latency and internet, give me that good stuff. And then the fun begins, but if you're not popular, you don't kind of need this thing. You just work with what you have already, and that's it. I always wanted to stream anyway, but the thing is, I was just nervous all those years ago. Like, I'm gonna be horrible at it. I still get anxious, of course, pressing the record button and like the start stream button. But after all, you do need to get used to it in order to not fear it. I still don't like recording videos, and I'm still nervous to make them, but after all, you are supposed to get used to it until you're actually able to make it. So it just takes some practice, it just takes some time, and that's it. You can't get used to that, then that's okay as well. Alright. I'm going for a bit of a cutesy pose. So if we got those features already, she's supposed to like stand back a bit, do that cute little pose. Drink some bubble tea. Make that container ready so that I'll have a basic forethought. And then we'll already have a start. But it's better to just sketch quick and messy instead of like take your really long time to perfect it. I mean, I am the same idiot perfectionist, of course, who used to do that because I didn't realize exactly how you're supposed to speed up the process as an artist, but I still take a really long time, so I'm still not one to talk. The point is, I'll get it done. I freshly came back from a concert, so I also have like a very stilted voice. I sound really tired because I am really tired, but if there's one thing I don't like doing is giving up or not finishing art. 1 second, I got a cough. I refuse to keep the mic in the same position as it is because when I cough or I laugh, it's horribly loud, and I can't do anything about, of course, the audio peaking. That's just like one of the cons of having a different headset nowadays than the one I used to have. That would just automatically basically prevent any sort of like ear rape, and this one just full on blasts your ears off if you don't pay attention to the audio. So yeah, I have to assume that I'm not too loud and that I'm not blasting someone's ears off. I'm not even sure if anyone will be paying attention, but the goal of this stream isn't to get anyone's attention. I'm just testing it for myself after all. But if anyone is willing to join, I don't mind. I like to talk to people while I'm working on a process. I mean, hey, I would like to do it more often, but of course I don't live alone, and the least I want to do is hog up the internet for everyone. I'd rather just record a video if I feel like it. There's so many topics I could talk about, but I just have issues finding like where I want to put myself into a niche, because I switch between thinking about commentary and then art commentary, and then I go back to thinking, maybe I could be a successful animator someday, which I doubt, but maybe. And then no, that's just how we do be like when you're having like art identity crisis. I'll probably never find what I exactly want to do because I like experimenting. Experimenting is the most fun part about art anyway, isn't it? Like, I feel it would be more boring without it. So why not try some new things? Why not try this? Why not try that? Some new posing, some new perspective, a different lighting angle. Things like that. Just get someone's spirit back up real quick from the motivation hell. Easy as that. I wonder if I'll be able to maybe last for 30 minutes, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. Who knows? Only my parents will know once they return. Okay, so how does the hand exactly work? Okay, so should be good enough. Thumb goes in the back, that means it's barely visible. Here's a knuckle. And here goes the fall off pinky. Alright, there we go. I do wonder if I should include some music again, but I'm mildly scared to like find any sort of OST or song again, because apparently I got a copyright claim on the other stream and I don't know what it is. Like, maybe I'm dumb and I don't know how to navigate YouTube's like settings, but I don't know what the claim is and I don't know who claimed it, but I will assume that Toby Fox rightfully wants his money from a song, of course, I used, which is just from Undertale. So yeah. If anything, we'll just do the good old Sonic Streamer route and just pick some random game OST. That probably will also get copyright claimed, because I don't know how the copyright system exactly works, but I understand like a fraction of it. The fraction being how at least you get struck and what to do when you get like claimed. And a majority of them just lay down and basically give up, wave the white flag and say, you got me, take away my revenue, this isn't the first time, number 15. God, I have such a monotone voice today, it's so funny. It's really funny. That hand is a little too large, at least like the 3 fingers are, because I overworked them a bit too much. Yes, I'm glad I'm spotting those mistakes better than what I used to before. I was really bad back then at spotting my mistakes, and like I depended on critique. Ooh, hello Sody Place. Hi there. Please do not mind a delay, but I am of course real, and I can see you. Welcome to the stream. Glad to see someone actually here. I hope your day is going well. I'm surprised at all that someone decided to join me. I feel honored. Thank you. Of course, no problem. You're always welcome. I thank you for being here. I appreciate anyone. I think anyone would at all appreciate someone joining to stream, of course. I feel really honored. That makes me so happy that someone is here. I do wonder, are you also drawing while I'm drawing? Just listening to something in the background? Thought there was gonna be more, but I'm still glad to be the first one. I feel honored that you feel so, but I'm a small channel. Not many people would be here, of course. Plus time zones. Oh, not yet. What else am I drawing right now? Feel free to draw along. I'm not sure how long the stream will last, of course. I'm not sure when eventually you join, but I did mention that I was gonna end it eventually if my parents return. So just be warned, if I abruptly end it, it's because my parents will return. And I don't want to hog up the internet. I hope that's fine. I also have to wonder, are you possibly also participating in art fight? Or am I just that weird bunch? Alright, that's right. Sweet! I'm so surprised I can read people's messages now in like real time. I'm so surprised that low latency apparently does wonders. I'm glad that it's working better this time. Professional streamer moment. Ooh. There we go. Now that hand should be right. Oh, before I forget to mention, please take your time in typing. I know I tend to like talk very fast and spontaneously, so please note that I'll take pauses in between once I do ask a question or I read your reply. It comes up a bit late, I think. That doesn't matter. Just drawing at all is always a good practice. So like, if you just do something at all, dude, I'll be happy to know. Just if you're just chilling and just like eating or something, I do not mind. Anyone is welcome here no matter what you're doing. Because just the main part for me in streaming that is so interesting to me is when I get to interact with someone, so I'm glad. Whew. Why did I spend so long on a hand sketch? Wow, I keep forgetting that I'm not supposed to zoom in. Terrible artist right here, 101. Alright, move up to the side window, thank you. Okay, so I need that. I need a little flaily arm. Nah, it happens to me either. Well, we often have those occurrences, of course. But it isn't too awful when it does happen, after all. Also, just so you're aware, there will be moments where I'll be coughing, so I hope I won't scare you. I'm just trying to keep it away from the mic so that I won't blast your ears off. So if there's also moments of silence, I might possibly just be coughing. Ooh, that's a good hand this time. Nice. Just needs a bit more adjusting. Right. Frick. Move, window. Thank you! I appreciate the compliment. That's very nice of you. And thank God it's alright. I don't plan to hurt anyone. It's just that I have to like find out how to exactly stream because like I don't have professional overlays like most streamers. I wonder how to do that whole like live chat thing that looks like aesthetically pleasing and stuff. I would like to set it up, but the thing is I just need to find out if I can stream more often because ever since I'm in college, I basically don't have enough time to like really waste it on whatever I want to do, and I have to focus on tests, homework, and like studying basically. So these streams are really, really rare. So you're a lucky one. Oh, by the way, when did you start drawing? Your drawing looks very nice. Thank you. Oh my goodness, I'm being lathered in compliments. I can't believe it. You're so nice. I started drawing around 2016, like professionally. Well, not professionally, but like in a sense of I want this to be my career thought. It started in 2017. In 2016 somewhere. Thank you. but I get very red around them. I would appreciate I appreciate them, but just what do I say other than thank you a million times? My goodness. But yeah, I'll get back to focusing on the question. Yeah. So when I was little, I used to draw dreams, right? I would just casually draw some dreams. I would draw flowers. Me and my friend group, we would draw like our own Plants vs. Zombies fan characters because we like Plants vs. Zombies 2 was like freshly coming out for tablets and phones. Yeah. And my friends had like the first one, and I bought it only last year. Like I am like 12 years maybe too late to go party. I don't know when PBZ came out. God, I feel old. But yeah, basically it's just that our friend group was like really focused on drawing our characters. We wanted to imagine game mechanics. We were just basically a tiny little game dev friend group that would draw their dreams, draw their imagines, their hopes, everything. In art classes, we were one of the better ones, not to brag. But yeah, it just was a hobby at first, but I thought about turning into a fashion designer at first. And I just went, oh yeah, I can totally sew. I can totally do this. I am so good at clothes. And that never came to happen, or whatever the saying is in like English. And basically, I switched job dreams like maybe 7 times before I really decided on wanting to become a graphic designer and being in college currently in order to pursue that. But before it was fashion designer, it changed over to architect. Then it changed into something a bit more like possibly drawing furniture. My grandma suggested I should become like a child model, like for magazines and stuff, but I went, I don't know, I don't feel like pretty enough for it. And she told me like, you should totally apply. It probably is going to be so fun. We're going to take so many pictures of you, and like, she was really dead set on this, and I was considering. But I told her, how do I apply for that? I don't know how to do that. Am I allowed to do that? And thank you. No, it's alright. I'm just not used to compliments. That's simply it. Also, I just realized the hand was flipped, so I have to redo this whole hand. The usual. But yeah, I'll continue on to read your comment. I wish you luck on becoming a professional graphic designer. I appreciate that wish so much. That's so kind of you because I'm really struggling. But I'm trying my hardest to like pursue math in any case. Like it's math has been basically grabbing me by the throat, like some crazy movie thriller scene. And I've been trying my hardest to improve my grade, but it just won't go up, and even tutor lessons aren't helping, but I'm still attempting my best. Wait, can't you unflip the hand? I redraw my hands completely, entirely. Yeah. The latency is a bit apart. Please forgive me. I think I'll maybe set it to ultra low next time. In like maybe 5 months. I'm not a good reliable YouTuber because this isn't my main thing. But yeah. I'll just withdraw the hand. Because it saves me the trouble of needing to edit a hand. I just need to do it right now because, well, not right now, like right now. I need to correctly space my sentence, forgive me. Yeah. I'll fix it in a sec to be proper. But for now, I just need a different sketch so that I don't freak it up again. I keep forgetting that left hands have thumbs on the right side because I keep imagining people with 2 right hands, left hands, sorry. Because I'm a lefty, I could tell you so many horror stories also about just being a lefty in itself in school. That is horrible for me. I'll just make that slightly more opaque. There we go. I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. Brainlet moment. I forgot skull emoji. Yeah. Where was I? Right. To get back on my point, maths has been kicking my butt, and I'm trying my hardest to surpass 11th grade now next year, because I didn't make it into 11th this year, so I had to go back to 10th grade. Oh boy, is there right to hear stories about being a lefty? I don't know. Maybe this cryptid is hiding a bit more than just being a lefty. Ooh, but yeah, I could tell you a story indeed, or two. I will in a second. One second. I need to focus on erasing strays. There we go. That's a bit of a large finger. Whew. That's a bit more acceptable. There we go. Any stories? I'll bring in the popcorn. Ooh, buttered or caramel? I gotta ask. Are you like more of a salty person? Do you like salt on top, or do you like caramel? I have to know if you're a sweet tooth. Ooh, that's a terrible hand. Finger. I like salt more. Ooh, you're one of us. Well, one of my type. I also prefer the salty option. I don't know what, like, sweet popcorn is just too sticky in my opinion, and it just doesn't go well in texture, right? I personally think like caramel or like adding sugar or some sort of food dye just kind of worsens the experience of popcorn. It's supposed to be corn. Salt popcorn supremacy! Salt popcorn supremacy! I fist bump you. I'm having a blast. Thank you so much. This is saving my very boring evening right now. Yeah. Glad to know you're also a bit more of a salty type of people. Not like in an insulting sense, just like that you prefer salt more. I really have to get used to the whole, like, using the correct words to describe people thing. This is why school is important, kids. Says the child. My goodness, this is so silly. I'm enjoying this so much. Okay, so boom. Boom. There we go. That's a little too sharp. This now needs some smooth. What kind of tablet do you use to draw? Ooh, good question. Because I've changed tablets thrice in my life, and I can tell you the first two, but my third one is like my newest that I'm currently using. The first one that I used was a Huion H420. Oh my goodness. I'm impressed, just first things first, that you were using a laptop and a touchscreen with a pen. That probably takes so much time. High respect for you. Oh my goodness. know if the clap is coming through. It's cool to know that there's people out there who use a laptop instead of a computer in the first place, because I never knew those people, but so many people like are telling stories of using a laptop instead. But yeah, let me check the box real quick because it's like near me. So I used an H420 at first. That one was like 30 or 23 bucks in my country. Well, which is euro because I live in Germany. This is common knowledge. I'm fine with like letting you know that I'm German. The second one is a Huion H614p or something like that. I think 614p only. It's been a long time since I checked all three of my tablets. I have the broken tablet right here, like the H614 or 640 p. Freaking I am so terrible with numbers. Hold on. 640p or 614p. It's the lowest box right now, so I need to like carefully remove my CDs to check. I don't think I'll be able to reach it, but it's basically one of the 600 lines, which has something number of 4 and a p in it, which means just a few extra buttons for programming some commands into them. Kind of hard to draw with touchscreen. Indeed. Like I try to draw on my phone at night when I can't sleep, and I get your pain. Oh my goodness. Ooh, I have a Wacom tablet, and its USB is broken, and it sucks. I was thinking of using it. Oh my god, not the Wacoms or Wacom. Those are really expensive, but at the same time they're like the primary brand. Of course, because after all, it's Wacom, the super superior tablets. Well, according to some people. I use the cheap and good ones. They're like cheap and good. I've never had a problem with a Huion. At least not to do with the drivers. The drivers are horrible. All Huion users complain about it, from what I know on forums. I'll just continue drawing meanwhile. But yeah, the third one I'm currently using is a Canvas 12 or a Canvas 13 Smart or Mini. But yeah, it's like my most expensive tablet yet, and that one is a screen tablet. It has a USB-C port. This isn't sponsored, by the way. I just tell you the tablets. I'm gonna sound like a product reviewer, but yeah, the specs are basically for like any modern computer, and I don't have that. So they, thank God, have like some sort of cable that connects between an HDMI and a USB that like turns the USB-C cable like into a thing compatible for older computers. So thank God I'm not like completely lost and I don't need to buy a new one. So I can at least tell you that they're friendly for older computers still, despite having modern technology, and it works just as ever. I'm honestly telling you, the Canvas ones are really good. Like, I saw a bunch of product reviews, and they were like, oh yeah, the Canvas isn't like exactly the best thing, but they're pretty good, and I agree with those. But I personally don't even have a single issue. I guess maybe with like the size thing, because like I bought the version where there's like a slider that, as if you like pay attention to the side, hold on. Let me just put this window by side and add an arrow. If you look over here, I'm using the slider right now. It magically just increases my brush size, and it's really cool. And if you change the thing via a button on the tablet, it lets you use also different commands. One of them is numpad plus, numpad minus, and that one is for Medibang Paint, because I use 2 art programs. And I also have like increase and decrease canvas. You can see I'm having fun messing around. Ooh, not gonna lie, it's very helpful. It is! Those are really cool. I wish they would be on most modern tablets, but I understand that implementing touch technology is a bit more expensive, of course. It is really, really cool. I agree with you. I get so excited around tablets. They are like the most amazing invention ever. To just be able to detect pixels with a pencil is so cool. Also, I'm gonna pause real quick and come back in a second, alright? I just got a BRB. There we go. I am back. Hello. Excuse the quick interruption. It was just getting really hot, and I refused to use the fan because it muffles up the microphone. I haven't got a tablet like that. I wish I had one, not gonna lie. I honestly recommend it because switching between tablets is, of course, a different one. And thank you so much for welcoming me back. You're like one of the really nice people on streams. I'm so glad because like I get so anxious around like streaming and stuff with commenters and such being sometimes really ruthless from the streams I watch. But yeah, to get back on the whole tablet topic, if you want to get one, I would recommend waiting on Christmas or waiting for like Thanksgiving or something according to that. I'm not sure, of course, you use Amazon. My family personally uses Amazon. So we just have to get everything for like a way more expensive price. But if you're able to like get a card or something, it'd be best if you get it from their website directly. So you know that they get like the full like payment. And so like instead of giving Amazon a little cut of their money. So yeah. Alright, that's pretty cool. So we're just both basically feeding Bezos that green paper. Yeah. But if I could recommend you something, I'm of course not sure how old you are. I'm not going to ask for it. I'm not going to push for it. But personally, if you are of age, you could possibly look for any sort of job or some sort of summer job, because the way I got my tablet, I worked for it in like 2019 before the pandemic, and I earned like $400 being at basically my dad's workplace. And you know, they paid me extra because I did so much, and because you know I'm like daughter of a dude who also works for the same company. So I got some extra bonus, and they told me to like come again, but then the pandemic hit, and then I never came again. But Dad lately asked me if I wanted to participate in a summer job again, like somewhere around August, and I was like, hell yeah, please give me that job. I liked working there like last time, and I want to do it again. So you have to think about having a job now, like doing art commissions would be a bit hard. Ooh, honestly, if you have friends, like some good old friendos, they could possibly help you. But the thing is, art commissions is like, you have to have a portfolio is like the most important part of like different variety artwork, which means if you possibly like draw fan art of different franchises like anime, comic superheroes, cartoon characters, if you like get some variety in there, and if you like show your art style off, then you'll have a really solid portfolio and people would want to possibly commission you more. So that's just a tip I could give you possibly. Another one is to not undersell. Excuse me, let me rephrase the sentence, German moment. Another tip I would give you is to not undersell yourself, because certain people refuse to commission you if you actually underpay yourself or if you undersell yourself as a whole. I'm currently doing that myself, which is, you know, a bit of a like shot in the foot, but I don't exactly need the money currently. If you're like older than 18, at least in my country, or if you're like older than 21 for, let's say, for example, America, then it would be best to just, for now, possibly demand like maybe between $20, because that is a fair price, I feel, for any sort of intermediate artist or someone who's been drawing for like a year or free, I'd say. If you're like starting out really fresh, like maybe 5 months or so, I would suggest maybe being somewhere between in the $10 or $5 bracket, so that you can get some experience and a feel for drawing other people's characters. I'm exactly like not the best at giving tips, but I would like to be of any sort of help for you to like at least have a start. Art commissions can be tough, but once you finish them, they're really rewarding, I feel, at least personally, because I've been commissioned a few times by people I know. There were times where I've been commissioned by people, but that's kind of a bit more of a horror story, because they technically use my art to like spike up a character's price, in order to earn more personal money than actually pay for the commission they received, which was of like lower interest rate, or whatever the word is for like financial gain. That is like super formal. I'm not good with fancy words. I like keeping it casual, so that's understandable. But yeah, if you just basically do some artworks where you make environments, or you draw some people, or some busts, then you're sure to possibly get interest or two. So it isn't like exactly too difficult, but you can do it and anyone can start at any time. It just takes exactly having the right portfolio and the right art style for people to be interested in you. And sometimes by sheer luck you start to get popular. It purely depends on the modern algorithms that people develop. Because I wouldn't like suggest you go on Instagram, because the algorithm fricked up artists there. It'd be better to be somewhere around Twitter or maybe DeviantArt, because as ancient as those sites are, certain people there, of course, are more interested in art than others. And, you know, like a majority of a crowd from Tumblr came over to Twitter, and Tumblr was, like, really big, at least in art and fandoms. I don't know how it is doing now, because I haven't checked, because ever since, like, they stopped selling NSFW, everyone's just moved on and, like, turned Twitter into the... I'm not gonna say those words. But basically, for like the adult industry, it became quite the factor. Let's just say that, as much as I'm trying to restrain myself. Yeah, I have a feeling that Tumblr is getting a little underrated now. I agree, honestly. People have been switching back to Twitter ever since Elon took over Twitter. So if you don't like NFT tyrants like I do, possibly look into Tumblr and maybe even look at Trello if you just want to organize yourself. And Twitter is pretty hard for me to sign up, so yeah, then I'd suggest being somewhere on Tumblr and drawing some fan art until you get attention of people who are in fandoms, and then you can just diversify yourself. It takes a certain pandering to a certain audience in order to gain a fan base, of course, so that, you know, they like want to share possibly your work. Like, I understand how to be a popular artist, but I don't want to be popular. I don't strive to do that. But I can at least give you advice on where it's needed. I, for years, have looked into those things, and I really wondered if I want to take that path as, like, some popular artist, but I really don't. I just... Excuse me, cough. I like being somewhat semi-recognized, but not like being like overly popular with like hundreds of thousands of people like being there, and like the rising anxiety of expectations of people. I'm not into that. I like being casual, and when it is business side, it's supposed to be in a professional industry. That's how I see art. I feel it is too much to be like a popular hobbyist, but being a popular like business person is like the way to go. But that, of course, is my opinion, and don't let that sway yours. Do what you feel is right and what you think you want to do. It would be terrible if you as an artist choose the path of pandering simply only to an audience. It's true that you want to have one, and at the start you must, of course, do some selling your soul to the devil doing. But once you establish a certain audience, you can stop, and then you can start doing whatever you want. So do not forget what people are there for. They're mostly there for your art, and most people don't choose to unfollow you or unwatch you depending on what type of website you're on. It changes between like likes and hearts, or, you know, following or watching someone. But yeah, it's best to just do whatever you want once you've established the right audience. It's best to eventually stop pandering, because if you're going to do that all the time, it could also backfire, and it could turn into people demanding more artwork that isn't your own original one, of course. Another website I possibly recommend you go on is Toy House, but that one is like really hard to get access to, and I would give you a code, but I don't have premium, and like, I'd need to know an account of yours so I could possibly get you a code and then DM you the code. So if anything, like, I'm willing to help you out, but the thing is, it's just hard to get access to a code so far. So it'll take a while to maybe find it, but yeah, you have a good chance of possibly finding some more people who are interested in your work on Toy House. There's, excuse me, cough, a certain forum on Toy House that lets you advertise your own work, like for example, adopts or commissions. So you could go in the commission section forum, and there you could just advertise yourself and just bump the thread eventually until people are interested. Thanks a lot for those tips. I kind of thought that being popular might help with me getting commissions, so I'm trying to take that path for now. I've never heard of Toy House, but I'll check it out soon. Yeah, feel free to. I'll spell you the word. There we go. It uses SE as its little website abbreviation domain link thing. Fancy schmancy internet words. We live in a Web 3.0. Yeah. You also can organize your characters there, so it's overall a pretty good site, but the navigation can be confusing, just as a fair warning, as a critique on the site. Oh, think. No problem. You're always welcome. I'm glad to help whenever I can, whenever I'm able to help someone. I sincerely hope that you'll be able to start your career that way, of course, because getting that bag is very important, and of course, being able to pay for things that you want is a big desire everyone wants, and the best way is to just start eventually and not wait, because the longer you wait, the more you're postponing your future. It's just a bit of a encouragement word. It's not trying to discourage you, of course. I'm not sure if it applies to you as a person, but some people get discouraged by certain mantras or self-reassurances, and others get uplifted by it. It just purely depends on the mindset of a person. We ironically enough learned it in psychology in 10th grade, so that's fun. Apparently psychology classes help people actually really give advice instead of just being clueless. But yeah, once I'm back in art classes, I won't have psychology lessons anymore. I'll be glad, because those drag on for so long. I love history lessons, but psychology and biology were the ones that really dragged on for long. It felt like eternities. I personally couldn't sit there for long. I had to eventually bust out my sketch pad and just continue drawing while they're talking and droning on. And then just eventually answer some answers. And then, you get a pretty acceptable grade. True. Oh, yes. I do wonder how people who, really like biology, math, or psychology can, sit for so long and pay attention, I personally can't do that. I have, every single time, some sort of ADHD moment. It's honestly kind of hilarious, but at the same time it's kind of sad when people cannot pay attention anymore. I mean, to be fair, boomers have been criticizing us for using our phones for too long. They smart people. Ah, yes. Any person who understands how to solve for X, immediate respect. How do you people do this? How do you survive? Teach me your secrets. I must know. Goodness. The fact that I can still somewhat have a sing-song voice despite coming back from a concert yesterday. My goodness. I thought my voice would be completely dead. I can't believe that I can stream. I need to know as well. Yes. It's just I'm impressed by anyone who's able to do anything. Geometry is needed for art, and I get that. I at least really need geometry, because my whole basis of sketching stuff is based on geometry. I use 3D shape methods, so not having that is just a nightmare, and not understanding that is worse. But at least I don't need to know the volume of the geometrical shapes I'm drawing, so I'm somewhat spared. Somewhat. That was a bit too puffy though. I noticed. Whoops. I am an avid puffy sleeve fan. That is my bad. I wasn't paying attention too much to the reference. I'll fix that real quick. Woo! Goodness. Them cough attacks are getting really, really bad. Gotta drink some water in hopes of it improving. Woo! Ah, there we go. Yeah, way better, way better. I just need to drink a bit more often between sentences, I feel. But yeah. Back to the arting. Whoop. Oh, I might as well mention, just so you're aware, Hollowed Heartlock is one of my closest friends. So I'm basically just drawing a gift. This is more of a gift than an attack, because I looked forward to drawing Pumpkin for a while now. Hope you get better. Make sure you take medicine if you are sick or anything. Yeah, I've already taken some cough medicine today. It was really hard singing and not trying to cough, meanwhile on stage in front of like 600 people. I was so nervous. If you want to, I can also tell you something about that a bit, as far as my memory recalls, of course. But yeah, it was really stressful yesterday. I was just tired as hell, and then when I was at home, I just felt like I was in heaven. Ooh, wait, hold on. There's some glovies. That's a highlight. Okay, that's some shiny material. Good to know. Yee. Go away. This needs to be a bit more clean for a sketch. Boop. That is not clean enough. There we go. Oh yeah, speaking of, also to relieve your sore throat, drink just a teeny bit of small alcohol, and that relieves the sore throat. I am so sorry, and I get that, like, I'm illegally allowed to drink in Germany because I'm over the age of 16, but just, I plan to not drink a single drip of alcohol my entire life. I simply want to prevent doing anything harmful to my squishy gut, because if there's like things that can damage a liver or lungs or something like that, I immediately go, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. If I could, I would probably smoke weed by now. Let's be honest. I'm only half kidding, because like I would like to try it, but I know it is somewhat harmful if you at least smoke it. So maybe if I'm in America or Canada someday, maybe I'll try it. And I'm jealous about the hands, man. Thank you. I can only give you so many tips on hands myself. My goodness. I could give you like one at least. Like, if you have trouble drawing hands, like I'd at least suggest using 3D shapes because I use them. Whoop. Yeah, that's alright. You don't have to really keep yourself safe. Thank you. I appreciate the sentiment. I appreciate that people like are really considerate. My goodness, what were those pauses in between the sentence? I'm just thankful you're considerate. Goodness, I'm still a little too awkward for like live talking. I need to practice doing that a bit more often so that I have like that whole smooth criminal type of extrovert personality, so that people can like have it more easier listening to me. It probably has to be so awkward on the different side when a person just randomly pauses and then has to continue. Oh, wait, I'm already getting ahead of myself. 1 second. Okay, so if you have a trapezoid for like the palm part right here, I also, for thumbs, at least separate them into a circle. And then I just start to like make lines like that just to determine a certain length. Hold on, this one was a little too much. And for thumb, I do a curve like that, and then I leave a little hook at the end, but it shouldn't be too extreme. In this case, this is a right hand. I had to check. No, this is a left. Hold on. No, this is a right hand. Okay, 1 second. I need to fix those. You can tell I'm also having trouble with hands today. It's really funny because usually I don't mirror hands myself, but I know I'm nervous. So that's alright, but there we go. This is a correct right hand. Art teacher right here, a really good art teacher. You can recommend me to anyone. I mirror hands so perfectly. Back to focusing on hand. It's best to possibly just start first things first, drawing like a bit of a palm. I tend to add a little bump here. It's hard to know which hand is which. Yes. I need to constantly look at my... This is upside down. Yes! Oh my god, someone understands me. I have to constantly look at my own hands to even understand which one was which again. So I'm so glad we both are the same. Yeah. And like the thing is, since I'm a Sonic artist and like Sonic hands are like just basically sausage balloons all the time, I don't have trouble drawing these, you know, but like the thing is, it depends on which hand you need to draw because there's like different hand shapes. I'll just real quickly draw like some bad examples. There's like square ones that have like a bit more of a rather etched approach or rather like trapezoidal shape. It's you can possibly find it on like a Lilo and Stitch character, if I remember correctly. Like some sort of male character had those. Like if you look at Disney, honestly, just look at Disney hands. Disney hands are really good, especially like the movie Atlantis. That one has good examples of hands. I recommend that one if you need some sort of hand reference, just looking at the characters. And there's like the like thin, daintily ones, you know, the ones that have possibly triangle shaped endings like that, and have like just a little curve, or just basically round female. Those tend to be used for like slim females that just look like incredibly sexy or like beautiful or like supposed to be like pinup girls or something like that. It's basically like the very attractive female archetype. Like there's this thin type. Hold on, this needs a bit more refinement. There we go. Disney hands look really smooth and realistic in some way. Oh yes, they do. Not realistic at last, just smooth, I could say. That is because they erase a bunch of details. That is very true. They're really observant with the hands. That's respectable. I'm glad someone else studied hands, possibly. And then there's like a fur type, which is like the very, very scratchily, I would say, bony triangle hands. You could see those, for example, on Yzma. I really like this Cusco character. She's like one of my favorites. She has like really, really thin, bony hands. And she has like the little triangle end ones, and you know, she looks like a total witch as supposed to. But yeah, it's just all these different types of little shapes you can study from somewhere, and then you can get the gist of it by just basically doing little lines. Like I'll tell you a secret. There was a time in 2020 when I was in a server and someone went like, oh yeah, you sketch very ugly. You know, I like took immediate offense. Like, I don't care how I sketch. The result is what is important. And they went, oh yeah, but you know, the cleaner the sketch, the easier it is to finish. And I just sat there thinking to myself, how dare you? I have my own process. You can't just do that, you know? So yeah, just basically they told me like, you're not supposed to do this whole thing, right? You're not supposed to make those little short lines, and you're not supposed to make it so scratchy, you're not supposed to make it so thick. And, you know, then they like showed me the example of how scratchy their art was, and then they made like a cleaner version, and it's like, ooh, wow, so respectable. Your sketch looks so clean out, and it's basically line art. You're such a role model. It annoyed me to no end because like I don't care. Literally, I can sketch better the messier it is. Like I have some really old artworks I would want to show, but at the same time I'm not willing to like expose all of my millions of folders that I have. Like it's not like it's something like secret or something like that, but it's just that I'm planning some sort of like private drawings that I would like for the public to not know in terms of like some fun projects for the future. So like I'm for now not gonna show them, but there's some old drawings where I've sketched just like they told me that like my sketch is chicken scratchy, and it looked exactly the same quality as my modern art. Like, it doesn't matter how you sketch. The like finished product is the important part. So like, if anyone tells you that your sketches look like too like freaking rough because like they got a million lines and like they're so super scratchy and like a million criticisms, just tell them you don't care because it's your own process. There is no problem with the way you sketch. I think this is how sketch should be anyway. Rough and shaky and all that. Exactly! Thank you! Thank you! Like, I get certain people have trouble finding their lines, but a majority of people prefer, like, textured sketching, you know? Just, like, doing this whole thing. Because it helps your brain fill in the lines, and you can just do this without a problem. Like, where's the freaking problem? You don't have to combine the liner and the sketching in the same freaking process. It's just so much more confusing. Like, I'll never get those people. But yeah, that was just my advice on if someone tells you you're supposed to change the way you're supposed to. Because when I changed to a cleaner sketching, it didn't work for me. Like, I took their advice blindly without thinking twice that, hold on, I've been taught that way because my dad taught me how to sketch. You're welcome through the obvious though. This person's either a complete show-off or a perfectionist. Perfectionist, it's the latter. They didn't mean it harmfully, but like, I'm not a perfectionist. My sketches look the worst and my finished product looks the best. If my sketches are clean, then either I'm working on a commission or something is wrong with me on that day. Nothing turns out good if I sketched it clean. But yeah, that's just basically the gist of what that was about. But yeah, to return back to giving you some hand advice real quick. I personally, on hands, spare no line. I take my time on hands. This is the longest process usually in my art, or the quickest process. It purely depends on the pose, because like anyone can do like a still little pose of just, you know, displaying all and every single little thingy. You know, like there's no problem here. The thing is though, like if you have problems with like making the fingers look right, I'd suggest also possibly doing this. I know that clean trapezoids are kind of the thing to go, but if you don't tend to like know where to exactly distinguish the knuckles, you could possibly like add circles, and then you can go from the circles, like add another circle, add another circle, add another circle, add another circle, and then just connect the dots by simply doing this. And then you approximately already have a better hand sketch. And there you go, like, it's as easy as that. It's just using geometric shapes the way you need to use them. Knuckles, yes! Knock the Knuckle Meister. Knuckles and Sonic 3. This is a sunk channel. Yeah. Speaking of Knuckles, have you seen the second Sonic movie, possibly? Just asking casually, not like expecting a sort of answer if you haven't or you have. But if you want, we can also discuss some things about that, if you have seen. If you have seen them, thank you, voice. You're slowly fading away. Oh yeah, I have. Okay, so how did you find like the new Knuckles, like in the movie Knuckles? It's really awesome. Yes! Yes, I am so glad. I'm so glad we both really loved it. I personally think like the new Knuckles is perfect. It like encapsulates everyone in like the Sonic community who was criticizing the old Knuckles for being like displayed as dumb and just basically a feminist. Like as dumb as it sounds, Sonic Boom kind of turned him into a feminist, and it's just so absurd to me. Knuckles looks so cute, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I second that wholeheartedly. I have an affinity for himbo characters, and he's like 100% perfect himbo, please marry me, / half J. I'm even if I'm half joking, I'll also kind of not. He would be like the perfect himbo husband, I feel. Hell yeah, yo. I'm glad we both use Ayo. Ayo is just fun to say all the time. But yes. Also, he likes grapes. Already my fev. Like, listen, I'm picky with grapes. It's either green or purple. I personally like purple more. There's something about the aroma being different in green ones. Like, green ones use them for wine, I guess, but the purple ones, those taste better. Just, I don't know what it is about the purple ones. Purple grapes are so much more tastier to me. I think maybe because they just have more juice in them than the green ones. But the green ones tend to be more robust, from what I noticed. But, you know, after all, it has to do with climate and from what country it comes from. So I could be also, of course, wrong, because I just tasted the same grapes all my life. True, the purple ones taste really nice. Yes! Plus, I also kind of feel the purple one has a more softer texture to it, right? Like, maybe I'm hallucinating on that one, but I've always felt like green grapes have been a bit more rougher. They're the gruff, tough grape bros. That actually is a good character concept, come to think of it. Whoops, unintentionally inspired again. Well, I'll know what to do next time once art fight is over. But yes, I just now noticed we derailed from Knuckles and the movie over to grapes. How fast does that happen? My goodness, attention span equals 0 today. Absolutely. But yeah, I also like the new voice actor, you know. I'm laughing with you, friendo. I'm laughing with you. But to get back to my point, yeah. I keep losing track of my point. I am the biggest brainlet on earth. Yeah. I really like what they did with his voice actor. Like, it fits him so perfectly. Like how Knuckles also portrayed in the movie too. Yes! He's portrayed as buff and serious but also a little dumb. Indeed! The misguidedness is perfectly balanced in a sense. Like, the other times in Boom, they made it so terrible, and I felt like the voice actor didn't fit him at all. Like, the movie just basically undoes all the sins the franchise has done. And here we have Sonic Frontiers, like, knocking on the door, going, "Hey guys, I'm about to ruin everything again." Yeah, they balanced it really well. Agreed. Thing is, though, I wonder what will happen in the third movie. Like, I'm really excited because, like, I'm not sure if you stayed all the way through in the theater, but they eventually, like, showed, and I don't know if this is a spoiler, so if anything, I'll give you 3 seconds to cover your ears. 3, 2, 1. Shadow has been seen in the end of the movie. The old Knuckles was really confusing, and I haven't noticed that in a while. Yeah, honestly. Oh yeah, there's Shadow on the credits. Yes, I know. Okay, I'm glad. I'm just trying to prevent anyone from getting spoiled because it happened to me when I was watching Ruby back then when it was still good. But yeah. Thing is, I really wonder what they will do with guns. Yeah, what was it? Gun? No, G-U-N, gun, not guns, gun, singular. There we go. But I really wonder what the plot will be. Will they bring back the big old Doom guy? What was he called? Black Doom? These black creatures? Oh my goodness. Racist reference? But yeah, just, I really wonder what the plot will be, because, like, I wonder if it'll be just generic alien invasion plot, or if it'll be something unique, like Eggman and possibly teaming up the aliens. Like, I'm really hyped. Like, what could happen? Like, the movie writers clearly are more competent than, like, the video game writers. And maybe Sega hired better writers, which just have important to a movie instead of a games, which explains why Forces possibly had such a weak story. Says the one who played Forces just today, still enjoying it. I planned to possibly stream Forces, but I actually, like, closed it last second because I felt like drawing, so yeah. Could have nearly streamed Forces. Probably not gotten anyone at all to join me to just talk. I also feel like Amy would be added into her movie too. Yes, but I really can't wait for how it will look like. Same. Like the textures and the detail, it's all amazing. It's all wonderful and fantastic. I would like to open a file, but I would have to, like, hide the freaking screen because, like I said, I wouldn't want to show my directory. Maybe it would be an alien invasion. I hope so, because like alien invasion plots are usually so boring. So if they twist it around and something happens like by human mistake, then it could be possibly interesting. Like if GUN like freaking has some sort of problem with the aliens, in a sense of something to do with Maria in like some old peace contract breaking, like that would be interesting if it like turned from alien invasion to like a war plot. And then you could possibly have like a giant clash between Army and Sonic teaming up and like the rest, and then just having just a big old freaking we're defeating you monsters party. Thing is, they could possibly like do forces but better in the third. Like I hope eventually they just like freaking improve on that. Maria! That made me laugh really good. Thank you. I could never voice this edgy hedgehog. Well, it's an overplayed joke. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I wonder how males can go so deep with their voices. It's honestly fascinating in a sense. But at the same time, I'm the same person who can sound like an anime girl. So it's just kind of hilarious to think about if you would just ever imagine some absolute anime waifu, but like they have like this deepest voice on earth. It would be so funny. I wish some anime trope would like possibly subvert that expectation. Yeah. Just that flushed emoji in panic. Hey, yo! Ooh. I'm terrible at pigtails, I realized. Well, we're doing it anyway. Who says you can't risk things? There we go. Oh, wait, wrong brush. It happens so often to me. I sometimes don't pay attention to the brushes like a brainlet because I got like a million of those. Well, not a million. I definitely have less than probably most artists, but still got like a bunch of texture brushes and stuff. Oh yeah, what is your thoughts on Eggman's robot in the third movie? Good question. What would be the third robot in the movie? Like, in the second one, it was like a giant Death Egg type of deal, right? Where he like had like the emerald in his power and then constructed like some giant freaking robot by deconstructing a bunch of police cop cars and stuff. Oh wait, no. Correction? Second movie. My bad. I misunderstood that myself. The second robot was really, really cool. I have to admit, when I was in the movie theater, because I watched it in an actual movie theater, I jumped, because like, oh my goodness, this is really just disassemble a bunch of cop cars, you know? Don't be sorry, it's alright. Mistakes happen, don't worry. You're welcome to make mistakes. I'm not gonna be mad. It's okay, don't worry. Like, no offense taken at all. I find it funny. Don't worry. But yeah. I was personally impressed by the CGI because like all that had to be modeled probably, unless there was like some sort of like Power Rangers type thing where they just basically used some sort of tiny little figurine and made it look giant. Good God, the voice crack. Giant. There we go. Honestly, having a sick voice is funnier than having a normal voice. It adds a sort of layer of irony every time you just crack up. Oh, that would be cool if there was a figure of the robot. Honestly, I'd buy that. I would imagine there could be possibly collector's editions or something like that. I wonder what those are in between. Are those like pockets? Is that like a backpack? Ah, okay, that's the rabbit ears. Good to know, good to know. Thank you, heart. Yeah. But I imagine the amount of detail it would probably take, and imagine what material it would be. I would assume it's vinyl, because it's the go-to industry standard nowadays to just make everything out of vinyl instead of plastic and stuff. So yeah, I would imagine it would be probably pretty fun for all those tiny little children who want to just imagine a big old like Power Rangers type beat scene. Or just getting a bunch of like Super Sentai robots, just some Power Ranger monsters, maybe even a Godzilla figurine, and then there's just randomly Sonic and Eggman just fighting it out. It would be pretty cool if there would be a crossover, though. Imagine if they did. Probably in Japan exists because everything that's cool it hasn't already done in Japan. But yeah, just imagining that would be really fun. I would like to imagine that. Just some kid having a blast pretending to play with a bunch of collector's figurines. Probably the parents would be so upset that someone is, using their very prized possessions. Ooh, that would be awesome. Them crossovers going brrr, brrr. Yes. I would like to see more crossovers between franchises. It would be so much fun. There's just so much problem with trademarking, of course, which is like the unfortunate part. I just realized she doesn't have a neck. Sonic Artist Moment, part 5 million maybe? Because this happens every day or so. Oh my goodness. Time to fix that real quick. Don't mind me in the corner losing sleep. Me having a Michael Cera palette moment again. My goodness. That song has been stuck in my head for days, so don't mind me randomly throwing the lyrics that fit. I've been having more than a few earworms. One of them being due to a presentation I had to hold like a week ago about, like, I don't know how, but they found me. There's so many good bands out there. I wish I'd know more, but of course I'm like just a one person who's very picky with songs. Well, not in the sense of like super picky because I like experimental songs. In the sense of I actually like Radiohead's modern music also, but just it's difficult. The next set, poof. Oops. Yeah, it really did just say "I'm a head out." It really did. My goodness, the entire face is too high now. We love to see artist mistakes. Just wonderful. That means I can actually finish the eye, and I'll most likely have to suffer with making a perfect circle now to finish it with. Time to be careful. Or just completely erase it. That could also work, but I like being a risk taker. Just seeing if I can recover the operation. We did it, doctor. We recovered an eye. It looks passable enough. It is the sketch, so I shouldn't focus too much on the circle, but it should be somewhat the guideline. There you go. I can't believe I've done the British moment. I can't believe I've done the half body for like nearly an hour now. Like, it's impressive because I usually take longer. Yes, he looks well. Thank you. I'm still so honored for all the compliments you give. My goodness. I shouldn't be this flattered. I really shouldn't. I've heard that so much, yet it still gets me every time. I'm so happy. Thank you. Okay, there we go. Now I can set up a neck. You're welcome. There you go. And neck reel. Wow, neck feature added. The new neck DLC looking great. Thanks, Obama. My goodness, I'm just throwing random references everywhere. Am I relatable yet, kids? Am I? I have to fix that real quick. Bothers me. There we go. That needs to be raised higher. Update, the neck came back! Breaking news! Neck returns for a vengeance! After years of getting the milk! Oh my goodness. I did not expect that. Good job. I make me laugh so bad right now. This is why I prefer streaming sometimes over recording videos. It's just so much more easier to get some sort of feedback from an audience, and it's so much more fun. Can't believe that YouTube marked it as dangerous. Can you believe that you're dangerous now? Oh my goodness, criminal. Slightly erase that. Yeah, that's a bit closer. Now this needs to be a bit more fat. Fat. There we go. Over a new Eggman robot in the sky? What would you call that? You can't call that a flying egg, right? It would have to be something more creative than that. Eggopult. That would be for propelling it into the sky. That is a good challenge. Time to think of a new egg ship name. We have like Fleetway, possibly, just how to basics vehicle. I imagine just a dude throwing just an egg onto Eggman's forehead and it's just sizzling and frying. This is a beautiful image. Thank you so much. That is absolutely wonderful. You are a great help to just my imagination. Hell yeah. That would definitely happen. All we need now is just to pretend that How to Basic then actually starts to talk and say an on-size of his lad, absolute unit. And then just throwing another egg. Just turns it into a barbecue fest. Just gives everyone some fried eggs and some sausages. Until he starts to decimate the grill. Oh my god. He really is the driving factor of the egg industry. Farmers should be thankful. New video How to Basic. How to take over the world. Featuring Eggman. And there's just a correction. Just crossed out and then just iRobotnik. Yeah, Dr. Robotnik. That would be beautiful. If I know how to draw a channel, I would probably draw that just for fun. Because that idea is just so hilarious. I would genuinely draw that if I could. I'm just terrible at imagining my own designs, so how the frick do you design a channel that just decimates things? This should be a movie. Oh man. What would the intro be like? Just like Sonic's friends hanging out at like a grill party and then just calling How to Basic Man to help aid them by making some food because they don't know how to turn on a grill. And he decimates one and then they go on a quest to find a new grill. It just turns into Shadow, just constantly searching for the perfect spatula, and Sonic rivaling him in a Gordon Ramsay type of style competition. Oh my goodness, why does that actually sound like a fun movie? This crossover of all time. Man, honestly, I'd love that. Calling out to Basic, gone wrong. Oh no, not Gordon Ramsay! Oh my goodness, that would be beautiful. We need to get Gordon Ramsay in on this at like Sonic's 40th birthday in 5 years maybe? Currently it's like at 38 or 37 I think. I've never paid attention to Sonic's birthday because on every anniversary of Sonic, something bad comes out, and just every fan has accepted that at that point, I feel. I personally don't look forward to anything usually on an anniversary because it's nothing that excites me. I mean, Sonic Frontiers also came out as a bit of a flop just to be on time for the birthday, instead of giving it time to just cook it in the oven. Haha! Food pun, ba-doomts. Perfectly fitting. Is that arm though a bit off? Hold on, let me flip the canvas real quick. Yeah, the arm is quite off. There we go. There was the issue. Found it. Whoop. I was thinking of my eraser tool. I am a bit curious. Can I ask which program you actually like to use? Do you also use Psy? Or do you use some different program? Most likely Clip Studio Paint, as most people nowadays use it. It's like the modern Psy equivalent, I feel, at least in my opinion. It's looking better. There we go. Oh, I used to use Paint Tool side, but I now use Medibang more. Ah, sweet Medibang user. Oh my goodness, fist bump me, please. I'm glad we both use it. Oh man, I feel Medibang is a bit underrated. The only problems they have to fix is the blatant crashing and the times when just the entire program freezes. It's transforming and stuff, but Psy isn't any better. I really want Clip Studio, but I can't pay for the full version. Thing is, I've tried Clip Studio, but it isn't so spectacular as you think. The only thing that's like really good about the program, I guess, is just honestly that it has like a Photoshop filters type of implemented, but Medibang has that too. Like, I don't see the appeal of Clip Studio Paint. It isn't good. Like, I don't personally like the brush engine. The only brush engine I've ever actually liked is in Psy. I personally am stuck between Psy and Medibang because like Medibang's brush engine isn't something I like. I've only ever liked Psy's brush engine, and I've used Krita and GIMP before to use to like draw art with, but it just never worked out for me. It didn't look good. I don't know though. Maybe the programs have improved because like at least our GIMP now has a new UI. Just it has been a bit updated, but I can't I can't use GIMP anymore. I used to use it for photo editing. Kind of wish Medibang has like a mirror, like there's a line on the middle, and every time you draw on a random side. Oh, a symmetry ruler. Yeah. Sodi. It exists. It's called Symmetry Pen. Let me show you real quick. Since you use a laptop, we both have like basically the same thing. Unless you use a Mac, then I'm extremely sorry. I don't have a Mac. I'm not rich. So let me just quickly open a new project and show you. So like standard freaking thing, right? Same old thing. The stream is gonna lag a million times, so forgive me because Medibang doesn't work with recording programs for me. Pencils. It either was a pencils or textures. Yeah, Symmetry Pen. There we go. Like, a Symmetry Pen is indeed existent, and if you press Control or like, I think on a Apple it was a Command key. You then make your line, and then boom, it exists. It exists. You can also increase the freaking lines somewhere. I think there's another one which is called Rotation Symmetry Pen. That one is really nice for mandalas. As you can see, these pens are so much fun. They also exist in the Psy, in case you aren't aware, but only in Psy 2, not in Psy 1. But yeah, where to find them? If you press on add brush to cloud, you then can find them. So yeah, if you want to look for the Symmetry Pen, it's somewhere around here. I don't have Medibang Premium, don't judge me, I'm a peasant. But yeah, after like you scroll past a million locked brushes, because you need like a premium service for those. I personally don't use them. They're useless to me basically. Premium brushes are like extra but not needed in my opinion. Except maybe for a few textures, but you can recreate those yourself with a few like stamp brushes. But yeah, if you approximately look around page 600, voice crack, 600, you can find it eventually somewhere. Snowflake, sumi. Corner pen is also Symmetry Pen. You're both peasants. I'm glad. Peasants forever! Maybe. Until I maybe get a credit card. But yeah, there we go. I found one of them somewhere. Rotation Symmetry Pen. As you can see here, it's right here. And you can find it. Just double press and then just automatically adds itself. So yeah, it does exist. I'm very glad to tell you that you can find one. In case you need to use Psy, you like if you have the second version, then just press Symmetric Ruler, it makes you one, and then you can just draw on it, as usual. Prick. Excuse me, pumpkin. Didn't mean to move ya. But yeah. You can also move it by pressing Control or the Command key on an Apple device. And if you double press on it, you can make up to 20 symmetry lines. I would recommend that it lags heavily. And you can just do the exact same thing in Psy that you can also do in Medibang. So yeah, program of choice, feel free to do whatever you want. Both are great. Medibang and Psy are like best buddies together. to also like possibly show you an example. If I just real quickly open Art Fight for a second. Is that Zoel? I can close that one. I did that attack. The profile. Oh wait, I'm already there. Excuse me. Do me a moment. Just as an example, I used on this attack the symmetry pen, as you can see here, on the stained glass window edge thingies, and I also used one here that had like 4 or 5 symmetry lines established. So yeah, if anything, symmetry lures are really good for things like stained glass and architecture. Architecture, there we go. Voice cracks, my beloved. Not really. What? What indeed? Awesome, thank you. Ah, cough moment. Thank you so much. I feel so honored that I get to like explain to someone things and just show them how to do some stuff. I'm really glad when I'm able to help or just demonstrate anything at all. I need to take a sip of water again. I'm noticing that. Give me a second. I'm gonna put some water in. Good that I brought the water bottle while it was a BRB. Or else it could have ended badly. Badly. There we go. My goodness. Right, back to the sketch. Only thing that's left is leggies, and then we got it. And then we got it. I am slowly becoming a decrepit skeleton. Help! I'm glad to say that I've been getting better. It went from like total annihilation coughs to just slowly being able to handle them. The thing is, I need to speak slower or I need to speak faster sometimes. It purely depends on whenever my throat is just giving in. And it also depends on when I'm looking down at the tablet. Whenever I look down at the tablet, I tend to lose my voice, which means I have to look a bit more on my computer monitor. But that's fine too, because like I've been neglecting the computer monitor ever since I got a screen tablet. Like really, the screen tablet's a bit unnecessary unless you like require 2 monitors. I need just a second one to determine where my pen is, because with like the other 2 tablets I used to have, they basically were just normal pen tablets. They did not have the screen like being on as a feature, so I just basically had to sometimes suffer by not understanding if my tablet even has been rightly calibrated or not. You can't calibrate a tablet either by just going in the settings, of course, or just hoping it exists. I kind of miss the drawing tablets. It's been a while since I've used them. It's all about how you prefer things. The thing is, I'm better at sketching traditionally than digitally, but then doing line art, I'm better at making it digitally than traditionally. It purely depends on the mediums you're using, so if you prefer to make sketches on paper first, then I would possibly suggest a screen tablet. If not, then you're totally fine with a pen tablet. The thing is, if you also don't mind drawing with a mouse, then that's totally fine. I personally got carpal tunnel whenever I was drawing with a mouse, not extreme case, but it started to devolve into carpal tunnel if I would have drawn any longer with a mouse. So I personally, for my own health, had to get a tablet finally, because it was just getting so bad for me that I had trouble writing at school with my pen because it got so bad. So yeah, it just purely depends on what your situation is like. If you're a skeleton like me, or if you're totally fine with handling, using vector tools in order to draw, and also just as a whole being fine with certain textures and stuff that you can, for example, do with a tablet, or you can, for example, do with a mouse. I personally find myself using the mouse more for filling in colors and just making straight lines with a mouse instead of using my tablet. So you don't completely abandon your mouse, but in a sense, you just adapt to new techniques. The longer you draw, the more you tend to find out what you exactly are doing in your art process, because when you start, you're just kind of confused and you don't know what to do, and you don't know if this thing is right or if that thing is right, but in truth, you're not supposed to know the answers immediately. So it's usually a relief when some artist is able to tell you, hey, you don't have to know what to use or what is superior, because there's no superiority, there's just what you personally prefer. I usually just give people suggestions, and if they don't want to take them, that's fine. It's their choice, and it's supposed to be their choice, because it's supposed to be their workflow, not mine. But there is, of course, the determining factor. I think once I'm done with the legs, I actually might end the stream though, because I did hear my parents returning, and as I said, I will, of course, not want to hog up the internet, but I will mark the stream off more of a success than the last one. Yeah, but I'm done soon, and then I'll just return back to arting privately. I do wonder if you will possibly look forward maybe toward another stream. I'm not sure, because I don't mind streaming more for people who actually want to look forward to them, because I just so happen to get lucky with you actually noticing that, wow, there's a person that actually is streaming. Oh wait, that's right, it was a really cool stream to be on. I appreciate the sentiment of you just being satisfied with the stream. I'm glad. I'm still trying to get, of course, used to the whole talking to more people whilst I'm drawing, because I tend to talk to myself a lot, so when I try to actually instead talk to someone, it's way harder for me, but it's, of course, way more pleasant to talk to people instead of just sit there in silence or just singing a song. And then just totally hitting all the notes wrong. Just the leggies left. They're approximately, yeah, they're half the height of her head. And actually, come to think of it, I only now realized how large actually Looney Tunes and just those Warner Brothers characters got for paws. My goodness. Yeah, I feel bad that there aren't as many people here. I think they would enjoy that stream as well as I do. I appreciate it, I really do. But I'm just not I don't do enough YouTube, you know? More people tend to come over to your stream if you frequently upload, and my channel is a total desert whenever I'm in school, which means I don't, I basically never have time to do anything at all that has to do with a personal hobby. Hold on, I need to think about the leg. Yeah, it has to be a different leg or else frick it up, because I'm not good at that type of stance. Them paws, yeah, they're cute. I love drawing little pawsies. They're my favorite part about anthros, aside excuse me, cough attack, aside drawing ears. Okay, I can't say E or I currently. 1 second. There we go. Now calm down. Yeah. I think the most favorite part about drawing animals is the ears or the paws, because that's the most adorable part about animals. There's nothing more cuter on this world than a kitty trying to be ferocious, or just little doggies being excited when you get back from work or something. I love those little compilations where there's a dog misses owner, and then they just excitedly jump around, they just bark, and it's so happy. Oh, by the way, who are you drawing? Pumpkin. It's this character on the side I have here on the window. Pumpkin Cafe, that's the surname. She, they, panromantic, asexual, prefers baking over coffee making. Hoodie has rabbit ears on it, and the gloves are just shiny. It's, as I mentioned before, my friend's character, Hollowed Heart Lock. You can find them on Artfight, on DeviantArt, on Toy House. Not on Twitter though. We both don't like Twitter. They're one of my friends. They're like my closest friend, my dearest friend to me. I've known them for a very long time. They're a really pleasant person to talk to, and they're just fun as a whole. Pancake looks really cute. It's cute that you call them Pancake. Her name's Pumpkin though. That's adorable. I'm gonna let my friend know. That's a cute nickname. Yeah. I'll let you know though that my friend and I. Don't be sorry. It's alright. It's alright. It's a simple mistake. Don't worry about it. People make mistakes often. There's nothing bad you did. Calling her Pancake is just way more cuter in my opinion. I heard Pancake, well, that's fine. I have a bit of an accent, and I'm aware. Like, I have a mild accent still, even after all those years where I just speak English flawlessly. There's still an accent to be heard. And of course, there's sometimes words where the accent gets, like, really hard to distinguish, and then the words get jumbled. I'm aware of that issue, so please do not feel bad. Happy mistakes, Bob Ross. Indeed! Indeed. Just happy little accidents. That is a good quote to go by. We stand Bob Ross, a good man. I'm sad that he's passed away like such a long time ago, probably already. Heck yeah, only have a tail left, and then we got it. There we go, real. Just erasing that. For consistency's sake. There we go. The finished little sketchy. Might just add a bit more fur detail below, if I feel like it. Thing is, in art fight, there's like quantity over quality on getting points, so yeah, it's a bit difficult. But after all, it is for fun. We do. Bob Ross painted like he was painting random things. It's impressive, honestly, how fast you can draw. So random. You don't think it's supposed to take so long for a drawing to be finished? I know I take a very long time. I'm very self-conscious about how long I take. In case you're not aware, I openly admit to my statistic of finishing art taking minimum of 2 days. I take a minimum of 2 days to finish artwork. I used to need 4 days. 4 days. What an accent. 4 days. There we go. Oh, I said it correctly. Yeah, but it's decreased to 2 days, so I'm actually proud of myself for like having the like length I needed back then to finish some art. So it's actually a bit surprising that I've actually drawing faster currently. Like, I used to take really long with sketching and line art. I still take the longest with line art. But yeah, I'm aware that I unfortunately take a long time. But it mainly has to do with the shading, so yeah. My sketches and my line art nowadays go way faster, and the coloring and the shading is what takes me the longest. Simply because I add every single pattern, I add every single little detail, and I tend to add hatching nowadays on my art. I never do hatching on sketches, but like, if I'll show you a commission real quick, I did like some time ago on my DA. Actually, I could have shown you the art fight piece I finished today, because that one has a lot of hatching, but like that one is a sketch, this one is like a finished sketch, like a commission sketch, where as you can see, every single piece has some sort of hatching, some sort of mild shading, and just some sort of little detail in it that just adds like full on, I would say immersion, because like for me it's the lighting that immerses me into some sort of piece. Yeah. Thank you so much. Just so you're aware also, I do not own these characters because it is a commission. But yeah. I take extra time to polish all of my work, and I take extra time to, of course, satisfy the customer. As you can see here, they both belong to Adoptiverse. It's an Adopt account I buy from often. and I'm basically just buddy with them. But yeah, that would be about it, I think, for the stream. 1 second, little thing I noticed. There we go. That was not supposed to be there. Like forgotten about. I have to like look at a reference image of some sort of boba thingy so that I'll be able to correctly do it. Hee. Happens. What happens. But yes, I think I'm actually now done. I think I added every detail possible now, aside the fur patterns, because I'm gonna do those with a scatter brush and just the usual with my soft brush or my flat brush, or just down below the anime soft one, depending on my mood on how soft I want to make it look and how much I will blend. But yeah, that is good goodness, the coughing. Probably finished for now, and I think I'll be ending the stream for now. Thank you so much for being there, and I appreciate the support you've shown me throughout. I was really glad to be able to interact with someone while I was working. It definitely shook it up. Oh, the dragon's cute. I'm looking forward to next game if there's gonna be another. Since you look forward to one, I shall consider it next time when my parents are gone again, so that I'll be able to stream again and then just have a fun time. The thing is, I don't know in my time zone when approximately they'll leave, but if you just see a notification, just know I'm there. I'll have my mic most likely on unless I state otherwise in the description or in the title. But yeah, I might just do that because I know my parents will be on holiday for a week soon, so I will be able to possibly stream for a really long time someday. I'll see you again next time, probably very soonish, somewhere around August. And yeah, have a great rest of your night and day. It was really fun being there with you. Thank you. Bye bye!